Hello and welcome to Fog of War Games. I know we're back to painting and I can only apologise. I know it's taken, God, forever. It feels like forever at this point. But hear me out. I wanted... You know what? You know, we finished those 4 models and I did a bit of dry brushing, right? And I was like, I wonder if it would really speed things up. And as you know, I needed to get the rest of the men painted. It was taking far too long. And I was like, I need to speed this up. So I thought, why don't I try and just dry brush the rest of the men? And when I say dry brush, I mean dry brushing. Probably not. But in my terms, it's not called dry brushing, is it? You see me dry. I'm, quoting, the 2 fingers up here, like dry brushing. It's my own little version of dry brushing, isn't it? So I thought, well, why don't I give it a go? So here we are. As you can see here, I think on this one, I'll be honest, there were a couple that I thought, I'll dry brush all of them, and then it did get extremely sloppy, right, on some bits. So I thought I'd dry brush the uniform on and then do the straps and stuff as normal brush. But then I was like, do you know what, we'll take it. I'll take it on the chin, and I'll just dry brush the whole thing. And I promise you, I've dry brushed every bar 1 or 2 that I've tested the straps on doing with a normal brush. I promise you, I've dry brushed everything. Now, what you're going to see in this video, my intention was, when I started doing the voiceover, was that I was going to talk you through all of it. But to be honest, it didn't need to be a long video. The idea was, I kept thinking was, they're not going to believe that I've dry brushed the whole thing. But trust me, when you see the end result, you'll know I've dry brushed all of it. So what I've done is, I have dry brushed all of them. Apologies for the different camera angles, lighting, all of that. I've had a bit of a nightmare with it all. I either didn't turn on the extra lights, etc., etc. I kept knocking the camera stand as I was filming as well. So I apologise if you see that throughout. And also, it wasn't all done in one day. As you know, the sheep have been, well, if you've been following, the sheep have been a bit of a nightmare recently, escaping, and now they're not escaping. There's quite a lot that are now ill. So I'll be honest, especially towards the end of the video and towards the end of the painting, it's probably a bit slapdash, but I will try and edit as best as I can. I'm not the greatest, all right? But basically what I want to semi-show you is just that I dry brushed all of them, bar 1 or 2, right? And then what you'll see at the end of the video is the final finished product. Now, I'm actually quite happy with them, surprisingly. And don't get me wrong, there are a lot you could, if you were to pick them up and examine them, you would see mistakes. There is a lot of flesh tone where there shouldn't be flesh tone. All right. So, but as I've said before, does it really matter if you're not going for competition? I mean, yes, there are different standards, and some people like to paint well and show off their models when they go to competitions or just playing games with their mates and stuff like that. And I get that, and trust me, I'm definitely going to do a mix of 2, but I'll explain that in a minute. But actually, they've turned out okay. And where some of the bits that I may have had to go over again, and I mean tiny bits, it's actually added different tones. So like, well, you've all seen the first 4 that we did together. If you made it through all those videos, I commend you, but well done. But thank you for watching. But you've seen the care that I took on those. Well, semi-care, I get that. And yes, there is a difference. But they actually, if I say so myself, they do look pretty good. All right, they look a little bit more like they've been through the mill, effectively, like they've come up, but effectively it looks like they're wearing wet uniform, because it's a little bit darker. Because as you'll see, I slathered, and I mean, I might as well just held the dropper bottle above them and put the wash on at the end, the strong tone on at the end, because yeah, but I liked it. They do look a little bit anemic as well, as in, or they look like vampires. They haven't, but then ultimately, again, if they look wet and they've just come out the cold sea, even on June the 6th, obviously they're going to be a bit pale. All right, so, but ultimately I'm still happy with them. Like I said, as I've said before, if you're looking at them from 2 foot away as you're rolling your dice, you're not going to see those little imperfections. So I'm actually quite happy with it. Now, would I do this again? Yes and no. I would do partly it again. I would probably do straps and stuff with a normal brush, just to bring out the colour a bit more, and same as the fine detail, because what I did was I used, as you can see here, I'm using the big, not the biggest, but sort of the medium size brush to do most of it. And then what I did was I used the very small brush, the dry brush, to try and do the finer detail. And like I said, it worked, and you'll see in the pictures and stuff, and potentially you'll see in the video, it's worked to a point. You know, it's not horrific. Now I'm actually, it's worked to a point, but I don't think I'd do it all again. I did it as a I tried to find a quicker solution. Now, there are plenty of products out there. I don't have one, but airbrushing is very popular at the moment. It's quite a skill to get into, but don't let that put you off. There are, as everyone knows, there are plenty of videos on YouTube to show you how, and make sure you watch a few, because some people, this is from what I've heard, obviously I don't have one, but just from listening to podcasts and stuff, don't just listen to one and get them to tell you to leave your canister on a certain setting and stuff like that. It's all about changing and what works for you. Same as the dry brushing. It like all painting techniques, it takes time to practice, and I'm not practiced, as you can tell. Okay, so yeah, I mean, like I said, would I do it again? Yeah, but not entirely. I would certainly slow it down, use the my actual normal brushes, the S series or the M series, both fairly similar. I know you probably shouldn't say that. Both fairly similar in style, and put down in the comments if I'm wrong. I'm sure some of you will. But yeah, I would just to neaten it up a little bit, because like I said, I'm not particularly fussed about the slapdash nature of it. But I was also kind of like, well, this is kind of me. So anyway, so we went with it. I think it's turned out okay. Like I said, you'll see some pictures. And you can make your own minds up. But officially, I'm now ready to play. So if you're watching Ministry of Miniatures, send me a message, reach out, and we'll have that little game. And hopefully, for you guys, we'll have to talk about it, of course. But hopefully, we can film it a little bit, and you can watch me lose terribly, roll bad dice, etc., because I've not played for a while. So there you go. Challenge set down. I'll probably end up emailing you anyway. Just a quick side note, and a bit of a sales shield, I suppose, and I do apologise. But as I said at the beginning of the painter videos, a lot of the colours I'm using it's my own personal stock, the Vallejo stuff. Obviously, there were some War Paints Fanatic in there which we sell. However, good news for people who like Vallejo. I am currently, as this video has gone out, halfway through inputting all the Vallejo model colour on the store. Okay, we can now get hold of it, and don't worry, it's not falling off the back of a lorry. It's through one of our suppliers, and it's from a UK supplier, so hopefully we shouldn't have any issues. However, I don't know if any of you are aware, but we've had a few issues with getting kraut cover in, again from the same supply, but they're getting it in from Europe because like most things affected by customs, and if any of you have ever dealt with them, you'll know that they are a complete pain. So anyway, yes, so that's the good news on that. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, or like and subscribe to this video, and you'll receive updates as to when they're coming out. I'm hoping, I don't want to promise, but I'm hoping they'll be out this weekend. What's that, the very beginning of August, and alongside that, as I'm sure some of you are aware, our base ready mixes are coming out this Friday. I think it's Friday the 1st. Don't quote me on that, but I know it's this Friday. I know it's the very beginning of August. It could be August the 2nd. Again, I don't want to, check when I'm trying to record, otherwise I have to keep pressing stop start and I lose my concentration. Not that I concentrate a lot, because I ramble a lot. So that is coming out this Friday. We've got Fogwood Forest, Shetland Ridge Gravel, and Overgrown Trenches. Now, if you haven't seen these basing mixes before, you'll see them on our models, on my models at the end. You can also catch them in the last video. You'll have to wait, I think near towards the end, I can't actually remember, but I'll put a link in the previous video, should I say, down below. And you can also go on to our Instagram or Facebook page, and you can see what they look like on other people's models, because we had a few people very, very kindly test it for us before it went out, and we had some fantastic feedback from those guys, so thank you very much if you're watching. Honestly, it was a massive help, and without that feedback, I'm not sure this would have worked. I was happy with the initial 3, don't get me wrong, really happy with it, but it's very, I'm sure some of you guys know, when you make something or do something for the first time, it's great to get that feedback. And there were some things that we changed from that feedback. So again, thank you very much to all those guys that tested it. We will also, if you do order from us as well, we will now be putting in samples. So anyone that orders from the store, you will also be able to try that out before you buy. Okay. So anyway, back to the video. I know I do apologise about the sales shield, but we are a store. Anyway, back to the video. As you can see here, I've pretty much got to the final bit. All right, I've kept this video fairly short. But you can see here I am absolutely lathering that toner onto the models. And I also think that probably didn't help. They were already quite dark and I probably should have gone for something a bit different. I'll be honest, I was in a massive rush to get them finished and get the video out for you guys. I know that's an excuse for my poor painting. But anyway, so yeah, it looked better initially when it first went on. It was only over time, once it dried, I was like, not sure. So I then come back to it today. So literally overall, I've probably spent, probably a day altogether painting all of these. You can see here I missed lots, like backpacks and stuff like that, because I rushed it, I think. And I think that's also part of the problem, is I rushed it. But like many of you out there who don't have a lot of time to paint because of family, kids, jobs, lives, it was just one of those things. And I still think they turned out okay. I apologise if you can hear my little one crying in the background. I don't have my own studio. If you can't, fantastic. Let's just crack on and ignore that one. But yeah, probably like the rest of you, it was very limited on time. And I think for the next, whatever video we do next, I've got a few ideas which I'll float out to you, and we'll get some feedback from you guys as well. But I wanted to get the videos out. I wanted to finish this as well, just because, you know, my Warhammer, as you can see in the background of most of my videos, is not complete, and I just never seem to complete stuff. So anyway, so that's part of the reason all again for I'm trying to make excuses. So yeah, so got it all done, and then here we are. Here is the finished guys. Now you can see the guys with the tufts are the ones we all did together in slow time, normal time, and then you can see the others. They're all based using the Fogwood Forest, but you can see the difference. But then also in certain pictures, I don't know about you, it could just be my eyes, but it is, you know, from a bit of a distance, it'd be very hard to distinguish them. Now, I will put tufts on, but as I said, what I wanted to do is just get them done, get them to the point where I could show you guys the finished product. Now, I, hand on heart, promise, there was no bluffing. There's no me going over stuff. When I play Ministry of Miniatures, I'll get him to confirm that, trust me, you can see the mistakes. But yeah, there you go, guys and girls, and anyone that's listening, watching. Thank you very much for staying with me on this incredibly long painting series. I'm hoping to do a lot more, if that's what you guys would like, or we can do other different stuff. Off the top of my head, and I've spoken to a couple of the painters that we support about it, but wondering whether you guys would like I'm not going to say podcast because I don't know, you can call it a podcast, but that kind of style where I either interview or just have a bit of a chit chat with people who love hobbying. Now it's probably not going to be anyone well known, although I hope some of you know the painters and stuff like that. But just getting some chit chat with the hobby. The other one is do a few more painting in between that as well. I know I don't sell Warhammer, but I do need to paint my Warhammer. But obviously we sell the paints that I'm going to be using. So if that's something you'd like as well, listen to me chat absolute bollocks that I don't know anything about Warhammer. Watch me try and build my Praetorian Guard. I've also got some other projects I'd like to do. When I first started stocking Warlord stuff, Warlord very kindly sent me a British Napoleonic Waterloo starter set, and I would like to get that done. I'd also like to get into some black powder as well as bolt action. But honestly, the floor is yours. If you want to see some more sheep stuff, I can put some more sheep stuff out there. That might involve me swearing quite a lot, so I might have to. All you'll hear is bleeps or beeps and then bleating. Sorry, that was a terrible joke. So honestly, the floor is yours. Let me know down in the comments what you'd like to see next in the future, and then we can go from there. I think the videos are probably going to either go out on Sundays or Wednesdays. It just depends on what's going on in my life, if I'm completely honest with you. But yeah, that's the plan going forward. Let me know what you'd want to see. Equally, if you want more videos a week, let me know and I'll see what I can do. Like I said, I'm happy to film other bits and bobs like the sheep as well, and they don't have to be long-winded videos. I'll try and show you stuff when stuff comes up. Like we've got to move some of the older ram lambs up to the rest of the rams, the adult rams from last year, mainly because they're getting a little bit fruity, and we can't have that with mums and sisters, etc. We're not that kind of place. So there is a lot we can do, but I'd like to get some feedback from you guys. It's not so I can boost my algorithm and all of that. It's because I don't see the point in filming stuff that people don't want to watch, or listen to me drone on and ramble. I'm surprised any of you have decided to stick around, and new people to subscribe, which I'm so happy about, so thank you very much. But honestly, why do you want to listen to me ramble on? I'm doing it now. God, I must stop. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Remember, all the products now are all on our, either being put onto the store, currently on the store, or are about to be released on the store. So make sure you like and subscribe, and also follow us on Instagram or Facebook, or alternatively you can head over to Buy Me a Coffee. The link is in the description. That's where you'll find access to our private Discord, where you'll be able to talk to all of our painters, get tips, people recommending podcasts, all of that sort of good stuff, for I think almost all gaming systems as well. Basically, people are happy to chat and hang out. So head over there if you'd like to join that. And again, thank you for everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time.